Working with the ghetto tripod today, so. All right, guys, what's up? Total Control 871, and I'm chiming in today with, I guess this is an edition of the financial report. Quick footnote, headline news, it is coming back to the vlog. I just need to get my head right a little bit more before I can process the world's data. Like I said, I've been dealing a lot with the court cases, and it leaves me, very severely mentally impacted. So, anyway, as always, working with limited memory, so I won't languish on that for very long. Today I'm coming at you from CNN, and this is entitled, "Why Does America Have So Many Hungry Kids?" So many hungry kids. Let's see. And it reads, "It was a tender moment for Ellie Dingman." Excuse me, let me start that again. "It was a tender moment Ellie Dingman will remember for a long time. Outside a small hotel in Branson, Missouri in April, Dingman was volunteering with a local group that distributes free meals when a barefoot, barely dressed 2-year-old boy walked up to her without hesitation. His name was Ryder." And there is a picture of Ryder. Hope you can see it. I'm not working with a viewfinder, so anyway. All right, Dingman never met the little boy before her rounds, but nevertheless, he came over to me and grabbed my hand. He was so loving, he wanted a hand to hold. As the boy's father watched from the motel door, Dingman couldn't help but pull out her smartphone and take a picture of the photo, posting it later on her Facebook page. That's the photo we just saw. It just felt really grateful that I was able to hold his hand and love him for just a little while, she said. Ryder's family represents America's 13.1 million households with children that often go without food. Food insecure households is what they're called. "Food is a struggle at times," said Ryder's mom, Kelly Ann Paffley, Paffly, Paffley, or Faffley. Is the P silent? I don't know. I'll say Paffley. Okay. Paffley, who also is raising a newborn boy. I'm not even going to get into a whole Planned Parenthood, contraception. I'm not getting into that to this vlog. But I'll just simply note that there are ways to have sex without producing children. Okay. Paffley, 23, wow, that's young, and her 24-year-old husband, Justin, have been married for 5 years. Wow. Okay, teen love. They, along with Ryder, his 7-year-old sister, and infant brother, all live in a small motel room. "We've been struggling for quite some time now," she said, "but we always find a way to make it." She said she and her husband always make sure the kids have food and clothes even if they don't like wearing them. Money from cleaning hotel rooms doesn't always last them through the month, neither do food stamps. Likely, the family's broken down car has made transportation difficult, prompting Kelly to quit her part-time job at a local restaurant. Located deep in the heart of Ozark Mountains, the area is swimming in up to 65,000 visitors daily who pump $1.5 billion into the local economy, according to the Branson Tourist Center. Yet the town doesn't have public transit. I am resisting the urge to do my whole bicycle rant. So their busted heap of a car cost them the one part-time job that they had and they don't have public transportation. And they are young and virile. Virile enough to fuck like rabbits. Okay, moving on. A larger percentage of America's food insecure households are outside the metropolitan areas, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Missouri ranked 12th in the nation for highest percentage of food insecure households, 15.2% with low or very low food insecurity in 2015, according to the USDA. North Dakota had the lowest percentage of food insecure households with 8.5%, and Mississippi had the highest with 20.8%. The national percentage is 12.7%. Greed and government. I want you to listen to this part. Brian Stalling, who co-founded Jesus Was Homeless with his wife, Amy, said Southwest Missouri ranks among the nation's worst areas for child hunger, but the community has responded with great programs. The nonprofit serves meals weekly to about 1,400 people. 700 of them are children. The United States exports more food than any other country in the world, so why do families with children have trouble getting enough food in such a prosperous nation? The non-political answer to me is greed and government, Stalling said. There's too many government health care restrictions that force restaurants to throw away food instead of donating it to needy. It's also greed that we're not helping our neighbors. I'm sorry, that doesn't really compute to me. So you are saying in your non-political answer that the reason why, there's so much food hunger, starvation, you can pretty much I guess you could lump homelessness into that, but I guess they're addressing hunger here. Is because restaurants are not throwing it away, or that the government implements regulations. That's not really equating. There's definitely a different political answer as far as greed goes. Government, cities, states, municipalities, the government, it generates money off of misery and poverty. This is why you have such a lucrative prison institution. As long as you can keep people poor, you can keep them controlled, you can keep them under thumb. The money is outstanding. It is the money that it costs to house an inmate per month is more than enough to house them for a year in a modest low-income apartment. Yet they're more than willing to waste fantastic amounts of money on incarceration rather than giving these people an address. And I am definitely one of these people. Okay. So yeah, hold on just a second. I want to make sure I'm still recording. Okay, I am. Nothing worse than getting all the way into your rant just to find out that the shit wasn't recording. I know it's a weird angle. I'm sorry. I don't want to fuck with it too much, otherwise it might cut off. All right, I'm going to move along here. It's a stunning figure. America throws away 40% of its food. Says it accounts for $165 billion worth of food, which could go toward feeding 13.1 million households with children. Households with children. You see this reoccurring theme, right? Households with children. Okay, I'm going to scroll down some more here. Robert Lee and Louisa Chen launched a program in New York that takes the restaurant food that's left over and it sends it out to shelters 7 days a week. I'm kind of like giving paraphrases here because I'm moving along as quickly as I can. It's getting better. The national percentage of food insecure households has been dropping lately. It peaked at 11% during 2008, the recession, with so many Americans were losing their jobs. But as unemployment figures began to drop, So did the number of food insecure households. Volunteers and privately funded nonprofits like Jesus Was Homeless helped ease the problem. Dingman, who took the photo of Little Rider, got involved after watching and working with poor families struggle to survive paycheck to paycheck. I just realized how many people are hurting in our community and wanted to do something to help them. Helping the hungry shifted the perspective of Ashley Harkness, another Jesus Was Homeless employee. I started seeing that people that I used to judge are so much more like me. Harkness said, we're all only one paycheck away from poverty. The only difference is I have someone who can help me and they don't. Very much indeed true. The school programs. The war against child hunger is also being fought in America's schools with Blessings in Backpacks. That's basically a program that sends home children for the weekend, loaded up with goodies and food like that. I could definitely go off onto a rant about how their parents are able to afford their cigarettes, alcohol, as well as illegal substances, yet you can't feed your child on the weekend. It's funded largely in part by Walmart, Cigna, and other private companies, but once school closes for the summer break, this and many other school-linked programs disappear until the fall. I'll also, before segueing away from that part of the report, hunger will definitely motivate children to do crimes, small crimes, shoplifting, all sorts of other things. Once this snowballing effect has happened, they move on to bigger crimes. It's definitely a snowball. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy of self-destruction. By the time they are in their preteens or early teens, they're definitely doing extremely, much more heinous, criminally violent, criminally motivated crimes. And we all know where it goes from there. Decade-long sentences in prisons. A self-fulfilling prophecy of self-destruction. The Federal Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act provides needy children with breakfast and lunch at schools, but the USDA in May began relaxing guidelines for that program, opening the door to meals with reduced whole grains, higher sodium, and higher fat, and sweetened milk and stuff like that. Hunger elsewhere in North America. 1 in 9 people go to bed hungry every night. I am definitely one of those people. In Canada, there's 1.1 million children who suffer food insecurity. Food banks have begun a national fundraising campaign. Moving on, stronger communities through volunteerisms. Back in Southwest Missouri, Jesus Was Homeless focuses on its mission to feed the hungry and help the needy. Stallings said it fosters strong communities through volunteerism. They're building a circle of friends and relationships, he said, and I think that's huge. Back at our motel, Kelly and Justin Paffley want nothing more than for Little Rider and his siblings want nothing more for their children than most parents. A safe place to live and raise their kids and enough work to make a living. We never ask for much, they say, unless it's absolutely necessary. Currently, they're relying on the kindness of their employer, a hotel owner who advanced them rent money to live in the hotel in exchange for work cleaning the rooms and performing maintenance. They believe that if they can somehow purchase a reliable vehicle, it could give them better job options and more opportunities. Again, you have been conditioned into thinking that success is highly contingent on owning a money-sucking motor vehicle. You can do it without. Trust me, we've only had the internal combustion engine for about 120 years, okay? You don't fucking need this shit, okay? The traffic tickets, my situation aside, traffic tickets, insurance, gas, car note, you can do it without this. They go on to say, I want my kids to never have to worry about being low on food and clean clothes, Justin Pathley said. All in all, my hopes and dreams are that Kelly and I could finally give our children the life they need and most definitely deserve, and for them to never have to worry for their siblings again. They don't want to have to worry about their family. So I totally get all this. Ample programs for families. Hold on a second. I want to make sure I'm still recording here. Yeah, still recording, although I'm getting low here on the memory. All right, yeah. So, what can I say? It's you know what? Matter of fact, I sent a reply. Let's read how I replied to this. I said, kids, with a bunch of question marks. What about adults? My disability never makes to the end of the month. Disability pays on the second Wednesday of every month. It is tailored to cheat recipients out of 4 full weeks of benefits. Last month was an eternal 5-weeker. Oh, I'm also homeless. When you don't have refrigeration for food and hot water for cleaning utensils, it means you are forced to eat fast food, burn through your cash at an accelerated pace. When you don't have the basics of life, life quickly becomes unlivable. We homeless aren't reckless with our money, not all of us anyway. Our situation breaks us down from within. Social programs are already well established to provide housing, food and utilities for women and all their many children. But a single man, forget about it. And before, that's when I go on to give my usual disclaimers, because a lot of people will start saying, how can you be online if you're homeless? And of course, I'm not a drug addict, this phone I'm recording on, pawn shop phone, things that drug addicts would never spend money on. I do because it helps me. But unfortunately, there are no utilities in here. I'm about to order food again. I've got less than $500 left to my disability, and I've got another 3.5 weeks. And it's just you burn through cash so incredibly fast. If only I had refrigeration. If only I had hot and cold running water that I could wash pots and pans. Basically everything you use a kitchen for. And until then, I am stuck in these fast food restaurants. I fucking hate it. I must be the fattest person on the planet that hates McDonald's food. Trust me, when you eat the shit as much as I do, you don't even taste the food anymore. All you can taste are its fucking constituent elements. A hot dog from Wawa, oh my God. It's like you bite into it and all I taste is salt. It's just salt. Fucking salt and processed whatever. I would give anything. I mean, I'm not a foodie, not vegan, vegetarian, not trying to be any of that shit. But a much more healthy home-cooked meal is definitely a treat. Sometimes I will go to a diner, but they are even that much more expensive than a fast food restaurant. So that's where I'm coming from, guys. It's poverty abounds. They're harping and bitching. We saw our family. They have a hotel room. Although true, right now I still have this decommissioned thing, but my point. They have so much more than I. And the government always seems to come for the bachelor first. I hear that women are harping and bitching about not making as much as men. Well, just remember, dearie, the more you make, the more they take. And the government definitely comes for the bachelor first and most often. So the government is balls deep in the bachelor's ass. If you want to join that ranks, then, just remember, careful what you wish for. You just might get it. All right, guys, that's today's financial report. Total Control 871.